Welcome back to Top Repairs. Today's topic, I'm going to explain why the brake light is still on after turning off your vehicle. The first common reason why the brake light stays on after the vehicle is off, it is going to be caused by a missing stopper. If that stopper is missing or it is broken or it is out of place, again, it can cause the brake light to stay on when the vehicle is off. The next reason why the brake light stays on when the vehicle is off, that's because the inside of the brake light switch is falling apart. For example, you might have bad spring or bad contact. Now, the way the brake light switch works is that when you're not stepping on the brake pedal, the plunger goes inward. And when you step on the brake pedal, the plunger starts to go outward. Now, can you imagine that when the part on the inside is bad or the spring is falling apart, it can cause that plunger to stay outward the whole time, and it is going to cause that contact to be always closed, and it is going to send power to that brake light. The next reason, it is going to be caused by the brake light switch is not properly adjusted. If that brake light switch is not properly adjusted, it can cause that plunger to plunge outward at all times, and it is going to constantly feed power to that brake light. But of course, for some vehicle like this one over here, it is not really adjustable. So most likely for this vehicle, you're just going to have a bad brake light switch. There are a lot of different brake light switch design out there. For example, for this one vehicle that I worked on, there is a giant C-clip that holds that brake light switch in place. And when I checked that vehicle out, what I noticed is that C-clip was missing and it popped out of place, and it caused that brake light to stay on at all times. There are a lot of different ways to test for a bad brake light switch. You could either use a test light, connect the brake light switch in series with the test light and connect it to a power source, or you can use a multimeter and check for a bad brake light switch that way. Now for this example, this is how the brake light switch works. When you step on the brake pedal, the plunger right there should plunge outward, and that is when the brake light turns on. When you release the brake pedal, the plunger should plunge back in and the test light should go off, or the brake light should go off. So again, when you step on that brake pedal, that plunger should plunge outward and the test light should turn on. Now, if that stopper is missing, it will cause that plunger to plunge outward at all times, and it will cause that test light or the brake light to stay on at all times. So again, make sure there is no missing stopper. That should be right in front of the plunger. For a vehicle like this one, I don't consider this one a good design because, as you can see, this part of the brake pedal constantly strike on the brake light switch, and it can cause damage to it, and it can cause it to pop out of place. I hope you found that video useful. As always, thank you for watching and subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.